You know, every single company, whether it's a tiny startup or a global giant, faces the exact same core challenge. How do you manage your most valuable asset? And that's your people. So in this explainer, we're going to piece together this people puzzle and take a look at the strategy and the systems that really power today's most successful companies.
So, think about it for a second. What's the real secret sauce behind the world's best companies? Is it some revolutionary product? Is it brilliant marketing? Maybe cutting-edge tech? And yeah, all those things are absolutely crucial, but they're all built on one single, indispensable foundation.
That's right. It's always the people. The employees are the engine of any organization, period. They're the ones bringing the knowledge, the skills, the creativity, everything that drives performance and innovation. They're not just some line item on a spreadsheet. They are the ultimate asset.
Oh, for sure it is. I mean, managing a workforce means you're juggling absolutely everything, from hiring and payroll to training and performance reviews. And as a company gets bigger, that complexity just explodes. The old way of doing things, it just can't keep up. Just try to picture it. Endless stacks of paperwork, a dozen disconnected spreadsheets, and just hours and hours of manual data entry. This old-school approach isn't just slow and filled with mistakes. It's a huge bottleneck. It stops HR from focusing on what really matters, the people. This old broken system just cries out for a total overhaul. And that starts with a new game plan.
So, that new game plan? It all starts with a strategy, a playbook really. And it's called Human Resource Management, or HRM. Think of this as the why. It's the whole philosophy for how a company manages its people to hit its goals.
Now, here's the key thing to get. HRM isn't just one single task. It's a whole system. It's the collection of all the policies, the procedures, and the practices that are designed to manage the entire employee lifecycle, from the day they get hired to the day they leave. It's about being truly intentional with your people strategy.
And this breaks it down perfectly. It's really a continuous cycle with 5 key functions. It all starts with recruitment, finding the right people. Then comes development, helping them grow their skills. Of course, you need fair compensation and benefits to keep them. Next up, performance management makes sure everyone's aligned and productive. And finally, you have employee relations, which is all about building a great culture. Each piece just feeds right into the next, creating a healthy, thriving organization.
Okay, so having a great playbook is one thing, but you've got to have a way to actually execute it, right? Especially as you get bigger. And that brings us to the digital engine that powers the strategy, the Human Resource Information System, or HRIS. This is the how.
This is really the million-dollar question when it comes to growth. How do you actually run all those plays, recruiting, training, payroll for hundreds or even thousands of employees without everything just descending into chaos? Well, the answer is technology.
Think of an HRIS as the central nervous system for all employee data. It's basically a software system that takes all the different pieces of HR, all those people management practices, and plugs them into IT. It becomes the one single source of truth for literally everything related to an employee.
And what kind of information are we talking about here? Well, pretty much everything. Your personal details, how much you get paid, when you took your vacation days, what training courses you've taken, your past performance reviews. It all lives right inside the HRIS, perfectly organized and super easy to access.
But don't mistake this for just some fancy digital filing cabinet. It is so much more active than that. An HRIS actually has 3 very distinct, very vital jobs to do inside a company. Let's break them down.
First up, you've got the operational role. This is all about automation. The HRIS takes care of all those repetitive, time-sucking tasks like running payroll, tracking who's on leave, and managing timesheets. This is what frees up HR pros to actually focus on more strategic, human work.
Second, there's the managerial role. An HRIS gives managers the data they need to be effective leaders. Who on my team is a top performer? Is there an attendance issue I need to address? When you have accurate, real-time data right at your fingertips, you can make way better, much more informed decisions.
And finally, the strategic role. And honestly, this is where an HRIS goes from being just a useful tool to being a total game changer. By analyzing all that data, company leaders can spot workforce trends, plan for future hiring needs, and identify rising stars for development. This is how the people strategy gets perfectly aligned with the company's long-term business goals.
All right, so we've got our strategy, which is HRM, and our system, which is HRIS. Now let's talk about how they team up, because while they're two different things, they are deeply, deeply connected. Probably the simplest way to think about it is this. Human resource management is all about the people, the qualitative stuff, like company culture and employee development. The human resource information system, on the other hand, is all about the information about those people, the quantitative data that makes managing them actually possible.
This table lays it all out beautifully. You can see that HRM is all about the managerial, the qualitative, the human side of things, like setting policies and actually managing people. And then you have HRIS, which is all about the technology, the quantitative data, and the information itself. And this all leads to the most important point. HR managers make the final calls, but the HRIS provides the crucial data to support and inform those decisions.
Okay, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds a bit corporate and high level, right? But believe me, it has a direct, tangible impact on the day-to-day work life of every single employee in a company. Let's look at how.
One of the absolute biggest benefits is something called employee self-service, or ESS. A modern HRIS puts the power right in your hands. You can just log in to update your address, request time off without having to fill out some paper form, download your pay slips whenever you want, or sign up for a new training course. It really empowers you, and it makes the whole HR process transparent and instant.
So let's bring it all home. The big takeaway is this. HRM is your why. It's the strategic playbook for managing people. HRIS is your how, the technology that makes that playbook efficient and accurate. And when you combine the right strategy with the right system, what you get isn't just a better-run company. You get a workplace that's more responsive, more transparent, and frankly, just better for everyone.
And that leaves us with a really interesting question to chew on. We tend to think of technology and systems as kind of cold and impersonal. But by automating all the administrative headaches and giving us clear insights, maybe, just maybe, the greatest role of a system like an HRIS is to free us all up to focus on the things that really matter, the people.